Welcome back to Sports Talk Game Breakers here on Prime Video. I am Eitan Levine. As always, I'm joined by the denim god himself, Drexen Clemens, over here to my right. Up next in the show, in studio, via Skype, I'll say it. What a friggin' booking. Give it up for Miles Davis.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Hey, fellas, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Happy pre-U.S. Open, okay? It is this weekend. Everyone's going to be going to Instagram and showing their cups with the teeny little ball, the yellow melon ball.
Those are really good.
Really?
Have you had them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I've had more than a few.
Yeah, I've had
Just a couple.
I smelled one once. I would never partake.
Yeah, they look delicious.
I say that because, the festivities behind the U.S. Open are kind of like why we remember it's on the calendar every year if you're not a tennis watcher. Like, I literally think of this time of year because Instagram is about to get flooded with those melon ball drinks. Talk to me a little bit about the pageantry and just like what this event means to just tennis in America.
It's kind of like Club Time or Jersey Shore meets like country club at a perfect little marriage. Like, I feel like I'm watching something. Obviously, a lot of people contribute to being like a country club or like kind of high esteem, but the music, the fans, the energy, all of that is really, really high. And the champions, I mean, the people that win these events go on to be Hall of Famers and millionaires, and you can't be mad at that.
So I'm betting on, after seeing the video yesterday, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's taking it over everybody. Am I wrong or right for betting on him? He beat Alcaraz, and Djokovic couldn't do it. Come on now.
You're right. You're right. He actually looked really good. If we can get more of him in tennis, he might be on to something.
So I thought it was a lot that after he got that 1 point in Alcaraz, he just walked around and was like, I am him. I am him.
I would have done the exact same thing. Yeah. I would have been the exact same way. Like, hey, Mom, look what I did.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter how it happened. It just matters that it happened. All right, Aaron Carter beat Shaq, and that is all I know growing up. What are some of the big major stories that we should be keeping up with going into the U.S. Open this time?
Got you. You mentioned Carlos Alcaraz. He's coming in trying to defend his trophy from last year. He just played a great event against Novak Djokovic in Cincinnati last weekend. They played for almost 4 hours, and it was crazy. It was hype. So trying to see them have a repeat of that is going to be fun. Also, Venus Williams is playing like her 3,500 U.S. Open or something like that. But she actually takes on a former player who was just #2 in the world last year in Paula Badosa. So that'll be interesting right out of the gate.
So talk to me about that matchup. Like, is there any worry on Venus' side that she's just like past the age where she should be doing something like this? Is there an upset, kind of just like percolating there?
Yeah, it's percolating, all right. I mean, she literally just beat a top 20 player last week. She literally just beat him in straight sets. So, I mean, there's a lot of intangibles that she has in her game just from being on the professional tour for so long, and she still hits a mean ball at 43. She can't get out of the corners like she used to, but I mean, personally, Jimmy Butler wouldn't want to see her on the court either. So, I mean, hey.
Right. I mean, okay, with this whole Venus thing, are we kind of putting too much pressure on her? Like she is one of the greats. I mean, are we looking at this of like, she's so past her prime, this is nothing? Or like, should people genuinely be like looking to her to make it all the way to the end?
Yeah, what is percolating?
If I had a ticket to go see Venus Williams on a Monday or Tuesday in New York, I would use that ticket because she's still a legend, like you said. And this particular matchup that she has in the first round is winnable. I can go on record and say that. I'm not saying that she's going to win the whole event. I don't even think she may realistically feel that, but she has a love for the game, and seeing somebody that's a legend that still has a love for the game that is so easy to see like she has, it's fun to watch.
Does the community like that she's coming back into tennis? Like, is it one of those things where like you see someone like that, like every once in a while, for instance, Tony Hawk shows up to the X Games and he does a trick and everyone leaves and everyone's like, oh, good job. Is it viewed as like this is a cool thing that Venus Williams is coming back, or are people like, oh, this is a little bit gimmicky?
It depends on who you are. Like, if you're somebody like me who is heavily influenced by what she's achieved in the game, then anytime she comes on your screen, it's something to watch and support. There's other people and naysayers that kind of feel like she may be taking some spots away from younger players, but she's still exciting. I mean, I don't have intentions of her lifting trophies, but in the meantime, to get to that final round, she's entertaining as anybody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm annoyed she took my spot, by the way. I still have not gotten it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a seat reserved for me, and then they said Venus is coming. I said, okay, fine.
Venus is people
fine.
need a seat. Yeah.
Right. What about Coco Gauff going into this? I know Coco Gauff got knocked out earlier in Wimbledon. Now she's back to the U.S. Open. Should I be rooting for her to take it all the way to the end against Swiatek?
She has about as good a shot as anybody else, and she's playing some of the best tennis that she's ever played in her career right now. She just won a tournament in Washington, D.C. a couple weeks back, and last weekend she lifted the trophy in Cincinnati. So she comes in with a head full of steam. She has her new, like, hair updo era moment happening right now. She's ditched the braids. She's a new and improved Coco Gauff 2.0, and she's playing well. She just beat the world number one Iga Swiatek in Cincinnati, and that was her first time doing it. So she comes in playing well and looking good.
Is there any advantage that someone like Coco gets from playing in America? You know, this is a home turf kind of situation. Is Iga at the disadvantage, you know, at this U.S. Open, just because there's going to be way more Coco fans at the potentially the finals if she makes it up there?
Yeah, my time going to the U.S. Open, if your flag that they show isn't American, you can expect to get a little rattled. Like, if you are in a position to cause an upset, the crowd is definitely going to cheer for you. So there are going to be a bunch of people that are pro-Coco. And it's been a while since an American man especially has won the U.S. Open, and it's been a little while since the woman has lifted the title, so it's kind of time, you know?
Well, let's flip over then to the men's. Let's talk about the Americans, because once again, you know, we bleed red, white, and blue on the show, obviously. And I know I'm wearing my Canadian Jam was just like,
nice
you're wearing
jersey.
a Czech jersey.
Yeah,
It's a
like we bleed
Czechoslovakia
red, white,
jersey.
and blue. But anyway, Europe is.
You know, we obviously stand with Czechoslovakia. Definitely is a country that's still around. Let's talk about the men's. You know, who American men's are we going to be looking forward to potentially, you know, get that trophy for the U.S.?
I think Francis Tiafoe comes in maybe a little bit shaky on confidence, but he made the semifinals here last year, and he's a top 10 player now. Last year, he made the semifinals not even being a top 10 player. So there's a level of confidence that he has, and his game is looking good. I mean, he was showing Jimmy Butler the ropes out there a couple of days ago. So if he can teach Jimmy Butler a thing or two, he may be able to progress throughout the U.S. Open.
I mean, he scared Jamie Foxx. I think he threw something at Jamie Foxx. He was like, "Oh, wow, I can't handle this." I'm a Tiafoe fan. I'm a big Tiafoe fan. But let's even talk about like American regulations as a whole right now, because Djokovic is now being able to play in the U.S. Open for the first time since COVID started. Should we be afraid of him? Should we be like,
should we be afraid of him coughing on us?
Yeah, I mean, should we be afraid of him coughing on us?
Should I be afraid to share a water bottle with him?
Right,
like,
what is going on? Is the anger going to fuel him through this U.S. Open?
Is playing Djokovic like swimming in the Hudson, where before you do it, you have to take a bunch of shots just to make sure that you don't get an infection?
I will say he's probably adjusting to the American germs he's been avoiding for the past 2 years. I will say that.
That's what happens if you don't eat spicy food for a while. Then you go and you have an Indian dinner, and all of a sudden your butt feels like a volcano.
Yes, a lot of stuff starts happening, trust me. But yeah, he comes in with something to prove. Like, he hasn't been in America for 2 years. He's not the most beloved figure in tennis, especially with somebody like of his stature being one of the best to ever pick up a racket. So he's gonna have something to prove. You can basically write him into the finals. That's not fun for me, but I mean, for a lot of people, they want to see what he can improve, because he's 36 years old. People forget that, and the average life of a tennis player is like 30, 35. So he's exceeding that and still at the top of his game. So yeah, he's a lot to prove.
Should you kind of take into account anger on his side? You know, the fact that him not being able to get into America because of the vaccine stuff didn't sit well with him. It's not like he took it. He was like, you guys got your thing, I got my thing. We'll see you in a couple of years. You know, that's not how it was handled. It was handled with a lot of people getting very angry. Does that anger at all kind of play into this, where he is coming back in and he's like, you know what? U.S. Open, you think this is your Open? No. This is the Djokovic Open.
Yeah.
He's going to have his ear to the crowd, like, give me some more. He wants that. He's going to use all of that as fuel. That's what he's done most of his career, so I don't see any of that changing. If the crowd goes against him, I'd actually be looking for him to play better. He likes those circumstances.
Yeah, he's been at home over Zoom trying to figure out how to make those lemon ball cocktails on his own for the last 2 years. He's upset.
He's kind of like us, by the way. We just have Canadian JMO in our ear just heckling us the entire show, and it fuels us.
What about vibes? Like, you know, we've seen the vibes of Wimbledon. It's very buttoned up. It's very royal, very regal. What are the vibes like in the U.S. Open? And, you know, and what, if I'm going to go to it, what should I be prepared for?
A lot of tequila, maybe?
I'm here for it. So,
monster trucks? Fireworks?
I mean, that was my experience. I had tequila, vodka, tennis, a visor, and a personal fan. I had a ball. I remember some parts of it, like the tennis was great, but you know, with alcohol involved and free perks and celebrities and stuff like that. I mean, Michelle Obama was out there last year, and I'm imagining she had a ball. So hey, It's a free for all.
Well, she had the melon ball on
Right.
top of the thing. Is there
No way.
thank you. In the history, just of the U.S. Open, I don't even know if this is something you'd be able to talk about, but like, has it always been like this? Has the U.S. Open always been such like a central part of like the tennis or the U.S. sports calendar?
Yeah, it's the one Grand Slam out of the 4 that's played all year that like culminates the season. It feels like it's been a long, hard slog from January to August. But the winner of this one usually has a party afterward, like they go to the Jay Leno show or whoever is the current like.
There's no late night happening
host
now.
right now. Oh, there's no late night.
They got to come on Game
yeah.
Breakers.
They gotta come here.
Yeah, they gotta come on Game Breakers.
But
Yeah, we
also
gotta
the
talk
fact
to
that
them.
you said the Jay Leno show,
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah, have you?
Miles,
Yeah.
how long has it been since you've watched a late night show?
I heard the winner gets to go on
Carson.
Johnny Carson.
I aged myself, but I'm not that old. Dang it.
Back in my day, tennis balls cost a nickel, and you'd get to see. Anyway, sorry.
Miles, yo, I appreciate you for coming on the show. If you're in the city after
Come
the
on
US
over.
Open, come through, come talk to us, all right?
Yeah, for sure. I'd have a ball. That would be so much fun.
Thank you so much. Well, we got to go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back, all right?
Yeah.
Stick around for more Sports Talk Game Breakers right here. We bleed America. Even though he's wearing a Czech Republic shirt.
Listen,
So,
I check myself before I wreck myself, baby.
stick around.